My boyfriend's mother treats me poorly because of his ex-wife. My boyfriend Aaron and I were both previously married to some pretty shitty individuals. When we started off as friends who were both recently divorced, we made a connection over this, and eventually it turned into a romance that neither of us thought we'd ever have. He truly is the love of my life, and I couldn't have been luckier to have such an amazing partner and father of my children. We see each other as life partners, own a home together, and have 2 beautiful children. The only thing we're missing is making it official by getting married, which is something I'm hoping for in the near future. Gina, my boyfriend's ex-wife, has caused a lot of harm and pain during her time with him. So much to where his mother was severely hurt to the point where she became untrusting towards anyone he would have ended up with. Basically any and all feelings she had of Gina, she reflects onto me despite me being a completely different person. His mother has known me for years at this point. I have always tried to foster a healthy relationship between us, and have given her grandchildren. But for whatever reason she just can't see me for me, and only sees Gina. I could understand her lashing out if Gina and I looked or acted similar, but neither is nowhere close. We're looking very different, have different personalities, different behaviors. Different everything, yet for every little thing that goes wrong, I've become a scapegoat for Aaron's mother's anger. She has said some very hurtful things, and it has left me feeling isolated and alone. I live thousands of miles away from my family. When my boyfriend and I moved to the state his parents lived in, I had hoped more than anything that his mother would be such a great support system for me and the kids. She's a great grandmother, but a horrible mill. She can be so sweet and caring one moment, then a viper the very next. But what I don't get is it's just me she's like this with. She's one of those mom types that takes in and adopts her children's friends and spouses. Treats them like her own blood and would do anything for them. But then there's me, someone who has never done anything to her, yet I get mistreated. Aaron has been my biggest supporter in all of this. Every single time he's been quick to stand up for me and defend me. He has a lot of angers towards his mother when she's like this, and it makes me feel bad because I feel like by just existing I'm ruining their relationship. I also can't help but feel if I was one of the friends she adopted prior to us dating, then she would have never treated me like this. There is a friend of his who was Emily. His mom is obsessed with her to what I believe is an unhealthy point. The level of obsession where the very day Emily was supposed to get married and when she had gotten stood up, Aaron's mother tried to set them up the night of. But that didn't work out like his mom hoped, and to be honest, Emily couldn't care less about her or anyone else. She only comes around when she wants money or attention, and Aaron's mother is completely blind to this. Between Gina and her sabotage of multiple aspects of my life, they would have to be completely separate posts to explain them, and Aaron's mom being the way she is. I feel hopeless, and stuck in the shadow of someone who's absolutely vile. Comment? Why isn't this up higher? It's true. All we are the things we do. We cannot blame others for our actions. Monster-in-law can blame ex-Gina until she's blue in the face, but the only person being nasty right now is Gina gone. Mill isn't. Therefore Mill is the problem, and regardless if these feelings are genuinely because the ex matters little because it's still the Mill choice to act this way. Also, if her son is telling his own mom to shut up about it all, then we know she doesn't actually care about him and his feelings as well. So his ex hurt him so badly he now has no spine and ability to stand up for his current partner? You know deep down that's not how this works. This isn't a Mill problem but a BF problem. You deserve a partner that chooses you over their mommy. Also, to OP, the fact he has been hurt does not change the facts. I can sympathize with him, but allowing this to continue in an effort to do what's right for him will eventually burn not only your relationship with him but also your relationship with your kids. Honestly, at the point nothing will change. I'm glad Aaron is looking for jobs and you will be moving to your home state. In the future, he can take the kids to visit her once in a blue moon if he feels like it. Just continue to bite the bullet until you leave, and Aaron should continue to stand up to her and let her know if she doesn't change, he's going NC. Personally, I would just be making myself scarce until the move. So sorry about this. Could you be a different race or religion or something? Anything glaringly obvious about Emily? She look like friggin' Margot Robbie or something. How is she with the kids? Does she ever disparage you in front of them? I see your point even though you don't really give any real examples, but sounds like your husband has a habit of let bad people in his life. You talked about 3 person he chose to have in his life at your post. You, ex-wife, and Emily. 2 of them are bad people according to you. Ex-wife put them through hell and Emily only comes when she wants something. If I were you I would be careful about his friends. You are not ruining their relationship. The mother is by not being fair to you. Your partner is a big boy now and can make decisions on his own. He's sticking up for you, green flags for him. If he chooses to cut her off, respect that. He won't be doing it for you, he'll be doing it for himself because he sees a bright future ahead for you both, and wants to ensure its survival. Story 2. My girlfriend of 4 years denied me. My now ex-girlfriend and I had been dating for 3 years and 10 months. The relationship wasn't without its up and downs, but I believed we were on the right track, arguments here and there, but we were good. I thought. On Monday morning we woke up next to each other, smiling and all that, smoked some weed and binged shows, then we ordered lunch. Before we were about to eat, she caught a glimpse of one of my scribbles, essentially just me writing down my thoughts when my head gets too full, and I start overthinking. It was basically just me saying she's unkind to me sometimes with the way she talks to me and looks at me sometimes. Long story short, she stopped talking to me and full on got visibly upset. I kept asking if she was okay and she kept saying yes. After eating I decided I wanted to take a nap, cause it was a hefty meal. I kissed her and went on. This was at like 1:30 p.m. At 3 p.m., I woke up to her rifling through the dressers looking for clothes to wear. I asked her where she was heading to. She says she's going for a walk. I asked her if we were okay. She says she's not sure. Then she leaves. After about 30 minutes I texted her if she was okay. No response. It's 5 p.m. now and she's not home, so I decide to walk to the grocery store to pick up some stuff for my younger brother. On my walk to the store, I clocked her in a Dairy Queen, on the phone. I shook it off and figured maybe she needs some space, maybe she's on with her therapist. I get back home from my brother's place at 7 p.m., and she says we need to break up. Confused AF. I asked why. She responded that it was because she didn't want to be in a relationship with someone who thinks she's unkind. P.S. This isn't the first time she's making my feelings the issue in a disagreement. Tears, 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 both of us. I try convincing her to give us another chance. Maybe we can work on it, but her mind was made to F up. It's Wednesday morning now and I can't sleep, so I decided to look up one of her exes who kept popping up throughout the duration of our relationship. Honestly, all of them did, numerous times too. Myself and her ex get to talking and she reveals she spoke to her on Monday. That's who she was on the phone with. Her ex told me that my ex said that we were in a situationship, and that she had never been emotionally attracted to anyone but her, and that we had finished a long time ago. We came back from a week getaway about 10 days before this. She led her ex to believe that I was abusive and possessive, which I know is not true, cause I don't care what you do as long as you are respectful towards the relationship. This information knocked the wind out of me, like all that time, all those emotions just for someone's to refer to my time, love, and affection as a situationship. We talked a little more and compared notes and found out that my ex sullied both our names with people she spoke with, telling them that I was abusive and her ex cheated. I'm irate, annoyed, ticked off, and overall find the situation a bit funny. Cause she's talking to her ex thinking that they want to get back together, but her ex has a boyfriend currently and is just playing her to humble her basically. She doesn't know that her ex and I have spoke a DNAD. I feel like once her ex rejects her, she'll want to come back to me, about 97.99%. I know for sure I'm going to refuse it, but I don't know whether to divulge the fact that I know about her trifling ass or just leave silently. Comment. Can you trust the ex? She could just be shit-stirring. But just from what you've said about your relationship, it's time to go and don't look back. She doesn't care for your feelings, is totally oblivious to the type of partner she is, and victimized herself instead of having a conversation about what you wrote. The ones then think you will always pick her up. She dumped you for some tincture and expects you to pick her now that she's single again. Really, don't look back. Just leave. If she cared, she'd talk it out. It sounds like she's looking for a reason to go. Ever seen the movie War Games? The only winning move is not to play. Story 3. I don't know where to go from here and I hate it. When I was a kid, I grew fast. People always did a double take when they knew my age. I was on the high school swim team at age 9, purely due to my size, and stopped growing at all, up or out, by age 11. My mom, who had always been larger, was very conscious of my size. So much so, that as a child I knew about diets and eating disorders, and I made myself throw up for the first time on my 8th birthday, after my mom allowed me a second piece of cake and then berated me for eating it for half an hour. I've had bulimia ever since. In my tween/teen years, my mom would do crash diets with me and constantly tell me to work out more. In a sick way, I kind of enjoyed it, but stayed around 5 feet 4 inches and 140 pounds. Until I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder at age 15. I was put on several medications which caused intense hunger, slowed metabolism, and no longer allowed to participate in sports due to the risk of serious injury. By age 17, I reached my high weight of 220 pounds. But my condition was in remission and I was taken off all meds. I was determined to never be fat again. By the time I left for college, I was extremely underweight. I yo-yoed for a few years and most of my adult life I've been between 120 to 130 pounds. I've struggled in a number of ways, been in and out of treatment for my eating disorder and was diagnosed with CPTSD. Finances were desperate due to me spending all my money on food and I never really thrived after leaving my parents' house. 2 years ago, I did something hard. I went to treatment for my eating disorder and I actually tried. I stopped exercising for crazy long amounts every day. I instantly gained 40 pounds. It was really hard, but I got used to it and had more time in my life to actually live, have hobbies, see friends. I was binging less and less and went from spending over $1,000 a week on food to around $150 to $200. Then 9 months ago, the weight started climbing. I was anxious about it and frustrated and started crash dieting and purging again, but as much as I could lose, I gained more. In September, I made a DR appointment because I had gained 40 pounds in 6 weeks. But my initial labs were borderline normal and they refused to do any further testing or anything and just referred to a weight management clinic. In the next 3 weeks I gained 55 pounds. I am now 277 pounds. I swear, I haven't been binging. I eat 1 to 2 meals a day and 0 to 2 snacks. My husband works from home and literally sees everything I put in my body. I feel like I'm going crazy. I should not be gaining like this. I have bone pain all over my body. It's hard to breathe. I don't fit in the bathtub anymore. I can't tie my shoes. I don't recognize myself in photos or in the mirror. Going to the bathroom makes me cry. I can't even bring myself to leave the house. Everyone tells me I'm just eating too much. I saw a cardiologist for my heart in August and he just gave me a 10-minute lecture as to why cake is bad, interrupting me while I was explaining my symptoms to exclaim at how ridiculous and otherworldly horrible I am to have gained so much in 1 year. No one is listening to me and I'm scared. I hate this so much. The weight management clinic I was referred to called me yesterday regarding my appointment this morning. They went over my records and are refusing to even see me because I have an eating disorder. My doctor won't refer me anywhere else. I feel less than worthless. I feel hopeless and I just want to disappear. I feel like there's only one path forward, which is complete relapse. There's a lot of context missing, but I just don't know what to say.